I just wanted to give a big shout out to Terry Peertrue 8012. Big up yourself, Terry, because you set me on a journey, on a path that, to be fair, I embarked on happily because I wanted to know myself. And it was in regards to a recent video I did, which I asked a simple question, which was, is VAR fit for purpose? I'll link the video in the comments so you can go and watch that and come to your own conclusions. I came to my conclusion, but I just wanted to read what Terry replied to in the comments in that video. And he said, VAR's definitely fit for purpose. It's just the officials looking at it that's the problem. Yeah, simple. And I liked the comment. I replied to him. I fully hear you. I guess it's the caliber of officials that keep letting us down on and off the pitch. Yeah, they're just ruining the game with their human error decisions. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna dive deep into certain incidences, and I'm gonna pick out the errors that just from this season, by the way. Although before I do that, I will take you back a little back to the 2023 season, sorry, 23-24 season, which Sky did a little report on. But and by the way, the errors, it's going to be 13 errors that I'm going to point out this season. That's, is being directly a call attributed to human errors in the game. And I start off by just reading a few. So back in 23-24 season, you remember, just to, evoke some of your memories, is the season that Luis Diaz's goal was disallowed, although it was clearly offside, but communications broke down in the VAR room, whatever, and somehow it was reported back to the pitch that Luis Diaz was off, so the goal was ruled offside. But yeah, so they've PGMOL, Howard Webb, all the hierarchies there, the Premier League, they've known that human error causes a lot of issues in VAR. And the system itself, as far as most people are concerned, there's nothing wrong with it and it is fit for purpose. But it's the human error element that I'm trying to tackle, I'm trying to dive into and find out why it's happening, how it's happening, who are the culprits, the officials that time and time again, their names just keep coming up in these major errors. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, they've known before. So, back in the 23-24 season, halfway mark, this report came out on Sky Sports. VAR has intervened correctly on 57 occasions. There have been 20 VAR errors, 20. Yeah, so it was higher back then, although in the recent one this season, 2025-26 season, that I'm going to report on and, point out the errors, it's dropped down to 13 so far. Remember, the season's not over, so who knows? It could get worse. So, um, there have been 3 wrong decisions this season when VAR has intervened. Park that. One of these errors that was a factual mistake, which was the I pointed out earlier, Luis Diaz's goal for Liverpool against Spurs. Now, there have been 2 subjective errors when VAR intervened, and the panel felt it should not have intervened. So those 2 comments, I read it on purpose because it's the reason why I'm doing this video, to just dig out the errors and give reasons to why they're happening. And it's really not VAR as such, because people, when you say VAR, you think it's some autonomous machine, electronic something. It's just making these decisions and done. No, it's human errors. It's officials behind these decisions that affect fans, affect players, affect games, changes momentum. Um, some clubs are hard done by. Some clubs benefit from these decisions. So we're gonna go into it. So let's start off with the premises, with the whole reason. Who is making the errors? For the 25-26 season, I've broken it down. We're gonna go into it one by one, and we're gonna not necessarily point fingers, not necessarily try and have a dig at any officials, because as I've been an official, I've done referees, higher games in academy. You get what I'm saying? So I know some of these decisions don't come easy, and it's not easy. Not everyone can do this job. So this, by any means, is not a dig at any officials, players, clubs, managers. They just want better decisions made every game. You get what I'm saying? Just let the football do the talking, let the players go at it. Whoever wins, wins, but don't, destroy the game. Don't ruin the game by making crazy decisions that just spoil it for the rest of us. You get what I'm saying? Because Barclay Premiership is supposed to be the best. Premier League is the best league in the world. So we're sold. So you get what I'm saying? So let's move into it. So the first culprit, first person in the line of fire is Michael Oliver. He himself has made three errors and he's still officiating, which is something that a lot of fans have been calling out for. If these same officials keep making errors, why are they allowed to keep, officiating in high caliber games, high level? Like it doesn't make sense. So um sorry, just for anyone who wants to fact find and verify themselves, these sources they dig into AI models of BBC Sport and the KMI panel who basically look at all decisions that officials have made um, in any season, basically, and they come to their own conclusions. It's a panel, and they vote on whether it was the right decision, wrong decision, it was a human error, or it was a technology error. So this is what I'm going off by. So it's not something I've made up myself, just to point that out. So Michael Oliver, three errors, and he's still officiating. The first one we jump to is Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2, and Sens- Sensini. Sorry if I pronounced that name wrong. Um, Senisezi. Sorry, people, but he handballed. And just for clarity, I just want to point out the actual issue that we're talking about. This was the incident that Michael Oliver somehow decided that it wasn't a handball, it wasn't dogsaw, no caution, no nothing. It was a clear handball. Um, those who remember the footage, he essentially reached out and slapped the ball from the path of Ekatike, who was pretty much going to run towards goal. It was a 2-on-1. I can't remember the other person that was with Ekatike. Maybe Salah. I can't remember, but Ekatike was on the left. Another Liverpool player was on the right. So essentially, if he didn't reach out and slap that ball, Ekatike would have been pretty much through on to goal. Although it was on the halfway line, so there's still a lot of distance to cover. But we all know these players are rapid; they'll cover distance in no time. So it's likely it was going to lead to a goal or a goal scoring opportunity. But Michael Oliver decided not to do nothing, and um, it's just mind-boggling. And the panel voted 4-1 that Michael Oliver made the error, made the wrong decision, not to punish the Bournemouth defender for that. Anyway, another one, Bournemouth v West Ham, Kilman, Dogsaw, red card not issued when it should have been issued. Yeah, a panel again, a unanimous decision here. There was no ifs or buts. It was 100% error on Michael Oliver's part, and a red card should have been shown. No ifs or buts. Next one is Wolves 2, Everton 2. Bueno penalty, and somehow Michael Oliver decided not to intervene. Again, the panel 4-1. VAR should have intervened. VAR should have said, "Look, hey, this is a penalty. Um, no ifs or buts." You get what I'm saying? It was these errors are stonewall. There's no ifs or buts. There's no like middle ground, or was it none of that. These are clear and obvious. Which, may I remind you, that's what VAR was supposed to be brought in to do. Just intervene in clear and obvious mistakes. You get what I'm saying? Like one of the big ones that I can remember is the World Cup in South Africa. Lampard, screamer, ball crossed the line. That should have been a goal, but in real time, it wasn't given. Okay, VAR wasn't involved them times, but I'm just giving an example why VAR was supposedly brought in just to clear out the clear and obvious facts of the game as it happened. You get what I'm saying? So Michael Oliver, top selected, 3 errors, still officiating, no drama. You get what I'm saying? Which is wrong in itself. So the next the next referee in question, I believe, is what's his name? Michael Sailsbury. Now, his decisions cost a lot of teams. You know what? It's not because it's still errors. That's what we're covering. You get what I'm saying? We're gonna do together Michael Sailsbury and Pawson. We're gonna do them together, yeah? Craig Pawson. So Michael, 3 errors as well. Same with um Michael Oliver, premium referee, remember. But I just want to point out that he was actually reprimanded and anyway, let's go through it. Chelsea 2, Fulham nil. And this was the Josh King goal that was wrongly disallowed. Panel voted unanimously, 5 out of 1. No ifs or buts. They were saying, yep, should have been a goal. Goal should have been rewarded. And just for context, just to jog the memory on that, this is the incident we're talking about. Muniz, I believe, stood on Chalobah, the Chelsea defender's feet. Minor, nothing major, but somehow um, VAR decided that it was a foul, which it shouldn't have been a foul because in real time, um, Muniz didn't even really see Chalobah. Before he knew it, Chalobah was under him and he inadvertently stepped on his foot. Which is a foul, but it's not a foul that it was intentional. You get what I'm saying? Pure accident, players just coming together, and VAR somehow decided to give it. That is a foul, and wrongly, in my opinion, they ruled out a goal. Josh King goal, which was a great goal in the end, but we move. So next one, Newcastle 1, Man City 2. Foden penalty missed. Now, it is what it is. I don't need to delve too much into it, but it should have been a penalty, but somehow VAR missed it. Human error all day long, yeah? Um, I just wanted to Michael Salisbury, he did the consequence of these errors, 3 errors. He was stood down from next appointments, like next games, basically. He was stood down, whereas Michael Oliver, yeah, nothing happened to him. He's carried on and he's still officiating, no ifs or buts. So, next person, Craig Pawson, 2 errors and he's still officiating. Again, no, didn't get reprimanded, didn't get um taken down or moved. You get what I'm saying? Wolves 2, Everton 2, Beno penalty denied. Yeah, panel 3 out of 2. So that was slightly not in the favor that we're talking about human error. So, and then the next one was Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 2, Gasto handball. Should have been a handball. Somehow it was missed by the officiating team on pitch and VAR room. So you can see where I'm going with this. Human errors just keep unraveling itself and just keep appearing when it shouldn't appear. And the next ones I'm just gonna do it as a collection. The next one, because remember it's 13 errors in total, and the the next 5 are individuals, but collectively they make up the 13 errors that I was talking about at the beginning of the scene. Um, namely other um officials. So Gerard Gillett, yeah, on field Crystal Palace 3-3, Bournemouth, rejected VAR advice when he went to the monitor. I'm not sure if you remember that game, but he was told like, mate, you might need to look at this. Something ain't right. Are you sure you want to go with decision? And he rejected it. One of it's usually when officials are sent to the VAR monitor, usually it get ends up in um officials on the pitch changing their decisions. But this guy decided, nope, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna change. All right. Next one, Paul Tierney, VAR, Brentford 3, Newcastle 1. Um, Burn penalty missed. It should have been a penalty. There's nothing more I can say on that. It should have been a penalty. And again, the panel agreed unanimously, 5 out of 0. It should have been a penalty. Next one, Stuart Atwell, Wolves 1, Man United 4. Um, there was a handball in there. Can't pronounce the player's name, so I won't. But there was a handball. Again, the panel unanimously agreed it should have been a penalty, basically. Yeah, Stonewall. And then the next one is Alex Chilwell, VAR. He was in the VAR room, so he wasn't on the pitch. Tottenham nil, Brentford nil, and Romero. Dogso should have been issued. If you don't know what Dogso is denying of his goal scoring opportunity. So Romero swiped a player who he was the last man basically. So essentially, if he didn't take him out, he was gonna likely go on to score. Hence the Dogso denying of his goal scoring opportunity. So um, I don't know what to say, man. It's definitely human error that's causing all this havoc. The system itself is working fine. Again, big up Peter for sent making me embark on this journey to find out the errors. And it's there in black and white. I'm not sure if Howard Webb, PGML, all them people are gonna do anything about it. So essentially, in conclusion, we need better officials. We need officials to either do the right job, do the right thing. Because, pardon me, it's a highly intense game. We get it. Temperature rises, and decisions need to be made quick and fast. But sometimes it takes longer than necessary. But most fans, as long as the decision comes to the right conclusion, we do not mind how long it takes. You get what I'm saying? Although being in the stadium when these decisions were going ahead, it feels like a lifetime. When I went to the West Ham game, West Ham played Liverpool at the London Stadium, and there was a VAR decision that took a while, but I didn't care because you know you're talking to the fans, you're enjoying the day, the sun's out, like it was. You get what I'm saying? It's not too serious, but essentially we need PGMO to find ways to prevent these human errors, and if we don't, it's just gonna keep happening. So, in conclusion, as you can see, Michael Oliver, um, out of all the name brand big referees officials, he's the only one that was never reprimanded, although he's made 3 errors, um, clinical errors, may I add, and he nothing happened to him. So how does someone learn if you keep, enabling the errors that they keep doing? You get what I'm saying? How what happens to the game? And just to point out, just for clarity as well, I just want to point out one incident that happened in couple of 2 weeks ago when again human error. VAR should not have intervened in this Virgil van Dijk goal because, as you can see, Joe Gomez was not in the line of sight of the West Ham um, keeper. There's no way he was blocking his line of sight. But somehow VAR decided to intervene. VAR decided to have a look at it. For what reason? I'm not sure. But as far as far as I'm concerned, again, 100% human error. He should not have been involved. We can all see it in real time that Joe Gomez was not blocking the line of sight of the keeper. As I circled it here, the keeper can clearly see the ball. He sees it when Van Dijk headers it to the bottom right hand corner of the ball. And Wan Bissaka could have possibly saved it, goal line save, but He didn't. So yeah, nonsense like this we just need to stop. Where it needs to be intervened is for, you know, clear and obvious, like clear and obvious. This ball in the recent Arsenal Chelsea game. What is this about? Ball is not even in the crest in the circumference of where it should be taken. Intervene. Tell the online pitch referee, yo, go and look at that. I think they've placed the ball a bit too outside of the area that it should be. Simple things like we're not even asking for much. So in conclusion, yeah, once again, big up Terry, who set me on this journey. And I fully agree with you, man. It's human errors. Sorry, it's human errors that's causing VAR problems. Is making us fans pull our hair out or lack of for some people. um, so until next time, peace and love.